Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue working on that John Deere 4520. We've got kind of an issue with the shifting years back, that power shift. There was a linkage that broke underneath and we modified something quickly to make it work, and that stayed for years. So Legarm's going to attempt to rebuild what's not there. That's going to be fun. And then I'm going to work on the hood and a couple other parts. We'll see if we get this thing looking a little more mint than it is now, because it's been neglected. So let's get to it. Keep on going.
So I was trying to make a round U, basically a U-bolt. So I went and grabbed a used U-bolt that I didn't care for, and then come look at this. I'm gonna perfect it. This is the prototype. You're gonna like it. All right, it's pretty crude. There's still things that I need to do to adjust it, but it works pretty good. I got forward and reverse out of one lever, and I got forward gears and reverse gears, so that's good. Hard to do with one hand, but so there would be reverse, there's forward, reverse gears, forward gears. Okay, I'll pull it apart and I'll show you what I did. It's crude, and like I said, I'm going to perfect it. And yes, I know, I got goofy glasses on, but my eyes are hurting, so I needed them to see. All right, I'm going to pull it apart and I'll show you. Okay, took a U-bolt, because it's fairly round, welded a tab on the side here to extend it out, and then I had to match it so it made a fairly round circle and it wasn't pushing away or pulling away. And what I mean by that is if I had this up like that, the tip would be grabbing, but it wouldn't be matching down here. So I had to make it fairly uniform, okay? Put it on here to give you an idea. So you have, this would be reverse, this would be forward gears, reverse gears, okay? Now that I got it figured out on how to do this part, and I looked at some diagrams online, which were hand-drawn, it gave me the idea of what they did here, but I could not find parts, could not find anything online of what they did. So I had to think about it, and I finally figured it out. Took this plate here, these are two separate plates, this is just a template, this is not gonna be permanent. And I had to figure out the spacing between these two holes. This is the bracket of the cab, and then this is your linkage. So if I move this hole closer, I get less throw. You're not gonna have very much throw. So the linkage on the shifter to go in reverse and forward has to have more throw, which is over here. If I go too far this direction, it will amplify it, and then it'll start binding up here. So I finally figured out that distance of what I need to do, and then I decided, well, how about I take a piece of flat iron, take the end mill, slot it, put these two so they're separate. So here's your shifter inside, and then when this thing is moving back and forth in this slot, I can figure out where does it need to be for the two. Make a line with a marker, weld it up, put it in there, and it worked. So this is not going to be the permanent one. I could make it the permanent, but I need to extend those ears a little bit. I think I nailed it. I think, but we won't know until the tractor starts. My thought process, if somebody's figured it out, what's stopping you or stopping me from trying to figure it out what they did or make it better? Be creative and it'll get you far in life. Be willing to apply yourself and don't be afraid. I was afraid in this whole process. I kind of, yeah, but I got to figure it out. Okay.
Let's take a minute to step aside and talk about today's video sponsor, and that is Brunt Workwear. Brunt has been a part of my life here on the farm for a number of years now. I've been wearing their gear for quite a bit, mainly their boots, but they offer a lot more than boots. They've got a treasure trove of all sorts of work gear. And right now, it is hot. It's like 90, 95 degrees Fahrenheit for all you centigrade people. It's, I don't know, high 30s, low 40, I don't know, something like that, high 30s, let's go with that. But it is hot, and it stinks to work outside in the heat, but sometimes you just got to. We're mainly inside the shop right now, but every now and then we got to go out, and eventually here we're going to be out a lot. And so I just want to show you guys some of the gear they're offering right now. This right here is the McKenna Tech shirt. Amazing shirt. This shirt is lightweight, breathable build. It's got 4-way stretch all around, so you don't have to worry about things being real tight. Ventilated mesh panels, great place, lets them heat out. UPF 50 plus sun protection, which is pretty nice when, you know, you just don't like looking like a strawberry. And quick drying and moisture wicking, which is pretty nice when you're nice and wet, which happens a lot when you're in the heat of the sun. And to pair with that, they also have a great pants. These are the Costella HD Tech pants. These pants are lightweight and abrasive resistant. 4-way stretch, just like the shirt, so no worry about things getting nice and tight. You can flex and bend as you need. Double layer knees, because that's always the first part that seems to rip. Durable water repellent. Mini ripstop fabric, which is nice because we don't like tearing. And of course, innovative pocket system for all your many tools, parts, and of course your phone and wallet, as I usually carry. And it just wouldn't be right mentioning the boots, of course, because you know it's the Brunt we're talking about here. Spouting the USA Marins. These things are awesome. They've got the rubber in the front and the back to reduce the wear. Nice heavy leather, comfortable soles. It's just been a great work boot. Love those boots. Wear them almost every day. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on going with that. So if you're sick and tired of the heat and you want something comfortable to wear while you're working hard, head over to bruntworkwear.com/welker10. Check out their massive library of all kinds of goodies like hats, shirts, pants, belts, socks, boots. And don't forget to use the promo code WELKER10 to get $10 off your first order. All right, let's get back to that John Deere. Enough time hanging out in this building. These are coming soon. Just hang on. We're getting there. We really need to get them out though, because you know things happen fast when it's hot like this. And we haven't touched these things since they went in after harvest last year. So let's get to it. I think we got her about where we want it. Like I said earlier, it's about bonded territory, but I'm apologizing ahead to this. Sorry, Zach. It's gotta come off, man. I'm sorry. I got some new ones. I can put a new one on it, but this one's got to come off because we got to finish sanding and get the panel ready. The other thing that's happening too is I don't know if we're going to have a time to be able to paint this summer, middle of June, and we got a lot of spraying to do, a lot of farm work. It's also summer, which means there's time to spend with family and busy. So I think we're going to get her assembled. I'll do some body work as far as getting it prepped and ready for when it's time to bond to it. But then when we get a moment, probably after harvest, we'll pull the panels off, we'll bond to everything, then prime the entire thing, take the windows out, get her all set up, new trim, windows back in, fresh paint across the whole thing, maybe some new rubber, I don't know, but then it'll look pretty nice. But we don't really want to get quite to that paint yet because we're not ready, and we want to commit if we're going to do it. We don't want to do it haphazardly, so still some cool things coming for that thing. Just in the mail, shipping, takes forever to get here. Back to the hood again. So this was a cover, this is fiberglass. And this raster hinged right here. And that was to change your air cleaner. We're not using the stock air cleaner in this thing because for one, it won't work with this engine. We've got the one out of the 7720 we're gonna put on because it's a little better box. So it's like I said, this thing isn't a restoration to complete. It's like more of a resto mod, kind of like that thing. But we're gonna make it look pretty, but I'm gonna cover this up. We don't need this opening here, it does no good. The air cleaner's not gonna be there, so I'm gonna cut a piece of metal the shape of this. I'm gonna lay it in here, and I'm gonna weld it along, and we'll clean it up real good, sand over it, Bondo it. I'm just getting the Bondo kick right now. Same with this one right here, didn't need that one. Clean that up, got a new rubber piece for the fuel tank, that's coming off. So I'll put a new one of those in there. Got a new radiator cap, and something pretty that's going right here. So let's cut a piece, let's put it on there. It's a little thicker gauge. It'll work out because I think the drop is about that. It was the only sheet metal I could find back in our stock. This is definitely a little thinner. I don't know what that is, but I got to bend it so it makes the angle of bend that this hood has. This hood's kind of got flat in there. I'm sure someone stepped on that at some point. But so I'll bend it, we'll curve it, I'll clean this all up, start welding her up, put her on, working on it, getting it close to the conformity. There were some dents here and here, so push that out. This was dented down, so push that up. This corner's all beat up, but that's under the cab, which is I think one reason why that's beat up. He's beat up. But we're getting really close, I think, to clean this up and tacking around on here. Real close. A little bit of a gap still there I gotta clean up. But it'll look nice when it's done. Well, she needs a little bit of filler. I'm not gonna try to weld all this in and grind it down. It's just tough. It's a lot easier to just put some filler in. So we'll take care of that when we get to it, but better it was. I mean, I'd like to keep the original fiberglass piece, but it's seen better days, and it's gonna get crunched, and we don't need it, so this is new and improved. And it's strong enough to step on it, right? A lot heavier. Clean those windows with that. I think we're to the point where we can put the new radiator on. Got a new lower radiator hose, so that's gonna go on. We gotta modify the top one and make that a little better. Like I'm just finishing up a plug on the front pump that was leaking. So now's a great time to fix that. Put the cowling on. And we're a step closer to firing this thing up. It'd be nice to run it a bit. We might not put all the panels on. We'll just run it like this. Looks kind of Mad Max style. So we'll try it. But okay, this thing. We ready?
I guess so.
There we go.
So where's that?
The plug? It's on this side and it needs screwed in.
Wasn't there supposed to be like a spout to screw into this?
It's different. So it's right here. We're just going to reroute
Does
it.
the other one have a...
We should probably put this in. Actually, it's right. Let's put this in before we tip that down. Okay, round two.
Yeah.
Come on, bind it on something. There it goes.
You want to put this on.
Slowly accumulating a pile of parts here for this deer. One thing that showed up was a new steering wheel. And that is a cap off one of those 7720s that we pulled the engine out of. I'll clean up the plastic on a little bit, but we were missing the cap for this one. They're kind of expensive, so I'll pull that little cracked steering wheel off. I'll put the new one on there. And then also what showed up was this front grille piece. Looks pretty good. Pretty much a match. So I think I gotta figure out, I'll pull this one off right now, I'll put that one on. We got the radiator all bolted up. I need to put some fluid in it, haven't done that yet. And then I got these emblems, these side emblems that go on the hood. They showed up bent in the box. I've been trying to return them. Finally got that figured out, so hopefully there's some new ones on the way. The other thing I noticed is this turbo. See all the soot right here from just a little bit we ran it? Yeah, my little job here, I don't know. It's not sealing tight, and I don't like that. So I think I'm gonna have to go rob the turbo off that other engine and put it on this one. It's spun fine. It's the exact same turbo. We got it. They're like $600 or something for a new turbo, 500-600. I could just get a new one, but we'll probably run that other one to see how well it does. So anyways, that's what's happening there. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. Oh, and then leg arms, we did get the final radiator hose on. This is a brand new hose on the bottom. And this tricky part for the pulling the combine engine out, because the intake of the inlet for, I should say, not the intake, that's down there, the inlet, the output out of your thermostat housing for your coolant is different on this than it was on the 404 that's in this 4520. You can see how it like comes out like this. So we have to figure out a way to turn it, come back, and go into the radiator. Normally, I think it went right up into the radiator. We had issues with trying to use the old one, so we never did. So this is what we came up with. This one was originally right here, and then we found a 90 with a spring in it. So, and then a 90 2.5-inch exhaust tubing. So I think that'll work out really good for directing the flow. Before it was practically kinked off with this old hose that we had here because we had such a tight bend to go around. This is a lot more open, so it should flow really nice. Because this is kind of a resto mod, not a restore, that muffler is shot. It's leaking. You know, you guys saw me earlier. I tweaked on it, welded on a little bit, and I don't know. Just looking online, and I'm just like, man, this should be really cool to do this. And finally decided I was just do it. So, yeah, we got one of these. It's dual walled, so it'll keep the paint from discoloring and keep the chrome look. And we're gonna put that on instead. So it's gonna sound really nice. Those 466s, 404s of that turbo sound pretty awesome. And if you're already a loud grain vac, who cares if the tractor's loud, right? That's what I thought. You probably noticed we use a lot of Milwaukee tools on this farm, and we've just switched over from some other brands we had because Milwaukee, it just kicks butt. We like Milwaukee's a lot. Milwaukee's been great to us. This one is a newer addition to the family. See this awesome ratchet, 90 degree. So for jobs that are a little tight, which this one, ooh, a nut just fell out of that. Huh, I wonder if someone was missing that. I got the wrong socket, of course. Anyways, this thing kicks butt. Let's get the right socket. Come on, do I have one? There we go. There's the old beat up one. Here is the new one. She lines up perfect. I love it. Ooh, that looks nice. A little out of place though with the extra. Color's off, I know it's faded. But like I said, we'll take care of all that color business here when we get a chance.